Okay, so hello everybody. Today what we do is we received again a new list of questions from many of you, even more than the last time. So hello Daniele, Paolo, Andreas. So we see you. We are starting to see your comments. Good. So as I was telling, we have both some questions that we will be pleased to reply, and then the main purpose of the day is to have the lucky draw of the lucky one who will get one of the few prototypes of the Teburu system and the Bad Karmas game demo. So with the purpose to have the lucky one of you playing with us a remote play session. As I see that the number of viewers is growing, maybe we'll wait a few minutes before doing the lucky draw. So maybe what we can do is to start with a few questions, and then when we see that there's the highest number of visitors and watchers, we do the lucky draw in real time. So in the meanwhile, what we can show you is that we have this, we have the wheel where we put all the names of the guys who fulfilled the form, and at the same time had at least the minimum pledge to participate. And it gave to us the information on the devices that they have in order to play. So what we will do is to take three names. Let's say the first one is the winner, but then to be sure, we draw other two names, let's say as a backup. Yes, for many reasons. So if maybe you can receive the device for any personal reason, or also if we double check the devices that you have, and in case the devices that you have may not be compatible with the actual stage of the prototype, we maybe unfortunately have to pass to the second one. So let's go to a few questions, and then maybe in a few minutes we do the lucky draw. About the questions, let's start with this. We have been, first of all, requested by many of you about the heroes of that we gave for free, so the Dark Ages that we gave for free to the Saga Pledge backers. First of all, as we already wrote, many of you replied, the challenge was really tough. And the fact of being so tough is due to the results. So for one vote, just one vote, the Dark Ages won against the number 3, so the Zodiac Apocalypse. Some of you asked, trying and hoping to have maybe a different result, asked to count only the vote of the Saga Pledge backers, because they are the real ones that are getting the free heroes. And indeed, I mean, even if this was not the rule, just to be sure that the result, if the result was changing drastically or not, at the end we counted only the Saga Pledge backers, and in reality we anyway have the same result. That means between the Saga Pledge backers we have 44 new words, 60 for the Zodiac Apocalypse, and 64 for the Dark Ages. So anyway, even a stronger victory for the Dark Ages. So that, I think, put a clear line behind the decision. So we, one side, respected what was the original rule, and on the other side, we also respect the will and the request and the vote of the Saga Pledge backers only. And that's one. The second is about the fifth player. There was a question about the fact that the fifth player is available, let's say the fifth player mode is available only with Gil expansion, so the miniature of Gil, the astrologist, or without. And maybe Riccardo, you can explain how it works and the benefit for the Saga pledge backers.
Yes, right now or after some other questions? I mean...
No, right now. Okay, so we just reply one by one, and then so
okay.
Right now it's fine.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to make it work, my screen, so what's the question exactly?
The question is about the fifth player. I mean, we have some backers that are asking whether...
Oh, yes, no, okay. Of course, yes. To play, we unlocked with the social stretch goal, we unlocked the fifth player, the mode, the game mode to play with 5 heroes for all the backers. So for everybody. So if you have the Saga pledge, you already have 8 heroes. So you have plenty of miniatures to play in 5 players. You don't need Gil. But if you get Gil, you also get the 5th die. So every player can juggle with their die while waiting for their turn. But other than that, yes, you don't need Gil to play in 5 players with the Saga pledge.
Yes, so you don't need it. It's just a new different character. What is something that I had is the fact that anyway Gil is quite a different character in a different gameplay way, with the random draft of the action that he uses during the battle. But anyway, it's not mandatory to play with 5 players and 5 characters.
But it's very fun to play.
Yes. Then another couple of questions before the draw of the Play With Us winner. One is about the rolling the dice remotely. So if we can do maybe let's say a separate app or a separate way to roll the die and read the results or even remotely. I mean, technically this is feasible, the fact that someone can roll a die or let's say read it through his own mobile device and directly through the app, or even playing remotely with another team of players to roll the die and communicate the result remotely. All these kinds of things can be evaluated based on requests, but what we can already say is that when you play remotely, who rolls the dice automatically communicate to the whole team the result. And this is for all the application and games on the Teburu, while the fact to have a direct communication between the dice and the app directly without the Teburu, let's say for other kind of apps or use, technically is feasible because we have a dual protocol in the Bluetooth of the die. And we are already evaluating the option, but this is, let's say, a second step and for the future evolution of the technology and of the product. Okay, we have another, let's say, the last question before the draw, even if there's people that is adding. So the alternative heroes bundles, people are asking whether there will be, if there's the opportunity to buy all the heroes. So now we have 4x4, so 16 heroes, 12 on top of the core one, and Gil, if there's a way to have a bundle in with all of them. We already have, if you noticed, I guess, we already have quite a few bundles, quite a few pledges, and a lot of add-ons. We don't plan to have a specific bundle or a specific add-on for all the heroes. What we would love to achieve is the opportunity during the campaign to make an all-in pledge, as many of you already guessed and asked. It's also our goal. So let's keep it as a goal that we will evaluate and hopefully make it feasible and achievable during the course of the campaign later on, when we know exactly all what means to have all the elements in a possible all-in pledge. Okay. So I think it's the right time to do the lucky draw. I sincerely hope that maybe someone of you is also, let's say, online now, looking and seeing his name in the wheel. I think just someone of you, let's say, can confirm with the message that you see also the wheel that I have here. What we are using is the wheelofnames.com domain that is public. What we did here on the right is the list of all the names. Maybe you can find your own. The list of all the names of the backers that has the right to be there. Okay, so just to show you that is real time, that is not a video, that I'm really doing it right now. Just the first comment that I read from someone of you, maybe one word, is something that I put here before Adam. So, okay, so what I do is I put the first comment in the list so that you can see that is in real time, then I cancel it. And what I can do is I draw from that list. Okay, just to clarify before replying to the question and to complete this this flow that is important. So who gets the so finger crossed. Okay, so I write here what Paolo wrote. So finger crossed. And okay, we see that is added to the list, and I cancel it because I don't think it's useful to keep it there. Okay, so what we do now is I spin the wheel. The first name that comes is the winner. What I do later on, even if it's counterintuitive in terms of hype, what I do later on is any way to draw other two names. So let's say the number 2 and the number 3 just as a backup. And the reason why we do it, as I told before, maybe someone of you was not here, is that we need to check first of all that everything is feasible. So the delivery, that someone is there that can get the pack, and also that the devices that this guy have are compatible, because today it's a prototype, so it still works with a lot of devices, but not of any device of the world. So we check with the winner. If the winner has the minimum devices, the minimum requirement in the devices, he is confirmed as the winner. In case the winner has, for any reason, no opportunity or to get the pack or to have the devices that are the minimum requirements, we go to the second and to the third. So Riccardo, do I spin the wheel? 3 to 1. Do it. Okay, let's see. Let's see who wins the pack. The play with us opportunity. No? Alessio D'Ippolito. It seems an Italian name, so it's we have a lot of Italians indeed in the campaign. So Alessio D'Ippolito, I don't know if he is here looking the live, maybe not. He is officially the winner. So what we do is we see here in the result his name. I didn't cancel it from the list, but I guess that we will not draw it again in case it doesn't count. So what we do is now I spin again. I have the number 2 and the number 3, and then we continue with the answering to your questions. Here is, let's say, the backup. In case Alessio has not the opportunity to play with us, the second one is Jamie and Janice. Is Janice. Okay, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Okay, so I can remove Janice from the next spin. And the third backup is Bradley Lecky. So anyway, Bradley. Okay, so what we do is I take this name and I write it here to the team so that the team can take note of them. Again, what we do is we contact Alessio D'Ippolito, we check whether he can play with us within the end of the campaign, he can receive the kit, he has this sufficient device to play, because we need in this prototype version 2 devices, one as a main device, ideally a tablet, but even a smartphone, Android or iOS is fine, and another device to have the controller device. In case for Janice or Bradley, Alessio can't, maybe you can cross fingers that this happens. Then before Janice, and then third is Bradley, we contact you to see whether you can play with us. Okay, that's it. So I think we can close the wheel spin, or we can let it there. I let to the guy who is managing. Okay, so we close the spin, and then third is we continue. Let's say the third part of the live about the questions. Maybe we can reply first of all to the ones that came here. There's a couple. Maybe Riccardo,
yes,
you can...
yeah. The first one is about Gil, because we were. I mean, Emanuele already asked, but just to be clear, yes, you can play with Gil, even in 4-player. It's probably you're making your life harder because the Gil, as we said before, it's a peculiar character. It's a different kind of hero, let's say. So if you play with just the 3 basic hero plus Gil, it probably will be harder to beat the Zodiacs, but you can do it. And then the other question is about the big box.
Yes.
Many people is asking about big box.
Yes, it's true. I mean, the big box is one of the things that we have in mind as a wish list. So what we did, many of you knows, but for who doesn't know it, we did at the beginning a survey asking to the community what are the most desired items to add to the campaign. And we have, let's say, in tires, we have the tire ones that were, by the way, more heroes. So we had, let's say, to speed up the unlock of those heroes. And then the SDK was the second one. So what we officially today communicated. So the fact that who has some skills in Unity app development and programming can use the SDK to create your own game. And then there are other things. Let's say the big boss is one of the things. It's not, let's say, entire one, but it's one of the things that has been requested by people. So the campaign is still long. We still have almost 3 weeks, let's say 2.5. And hopefully in the stretch goals that we will unveil, because we are very near to the founding goals. So in the stretch goals, we will evaluate the most requested items, and hopefully it will be achieved. But for sure, it's something that we would love to offer because we have many boxes, and so that is for sure a good idea to put there as an additional stretch goal. So if there are no live questions, we anyway take the opportunity.
We can go on with the...
We can go on with the list. So in the list, there's a question about the skirmish mode. So if one question is whether when playing the bad karmas in skirmish, can you customize your level or card pool, or does it happen only in the campaign? So here I think it's more gameplay related. So maybe Riccardo, you can reply how it works, the campaign unlocking cards and the skirmish selecting the build.
Exactly. Yeah, the basic idea is that you have to play the campaign to grow your let your character, your hero grow, and unlock new action cards and make your pool of actions bigger and bigger. But then you can, when you play the skirmish mode, you can use let's say the level of your hero, the level of your character will grant you that number of skill of action cards. And so when you play the skirmish mode, you don't have to play with the same build, the same hero build you're using in your campaign. Basically what you can do is let's say you beat 4 Zodiacs, so you will get you have a pool of action that is the double of the action cards you have at the beginning of the game. Let's say you have like 10, 15 action cards. And then when you play Skirmish, you can customize your pool of actions and play with that. So basically, the more you play the campaign, the more you can customize your character, your hero in the Skirmish mode, basically.
Okay, and then there's another one that is still for you. That is about the what happens if a character, let's say, die during a battle. So if anyway, let's say you lose or you have to restart the campaign.
No.
Okay.
Basically, during the battle, we say that the heroes are KO'd, so they're not dead. They're just on the ground, and your friends hopefully can revive you, so you can get up again and try to beat the Zodiac. And even if you beat the Zodiac with just 2 heroes alive, the next one you start the next battle with all 4 ready to battle.
And just maybe to complete is even if you die with all 4, maybe at the 5th or 9th Zodiac, you don't have to restart the campaign, but you anyway restart to, now that you have learned how that Zodiac behave, you can retry. Say the campaign doesn't end, but you can retry in order to, a sort of save game concept, in order to go on and try to beat him and then go to the next one, and so continue the campaign. There's a question that is anyway almost related, coming from Christophe in the live, that is speaking about the Skirmish mode. Bosses will have difficulty levels. This is probably spoiling some of the ideas that we have, but maybe Riccardo, this also gives you the opportunity to, let's say, anticipate some of the rough ideas that we have.
Yes, probably we are
what
going
it
to
is
talk
today and what we. Yes.
Yeah, probably we are going to talk about all these topics and this kind of stuff a lot in the next days, next week probably, because we're very, very close to the founding goal now. And so this involves the stretch goals, basically. And in the stretch goals, you're gonna see a lot of add-ons, add-ons, it's the wrong word, a lot of addition concerning game modes and way you can enjoy the game. So having more difficulty levels, it's for sure something you're gonna see without spoiling anything yet. But also what we want to do is to play with the system and let you play with the system. So there will be the possibility for players to maybe customize the adding hurdles or specific game constraint to try different challenges with the same Zodiacs. So just to make the game as much replayable as possible, and try to have every time you play a different experience, different battle, a different outcome maybe. And our final goal, our final purpose is to give this power to you also, to let you customize your game experience. What we would like to do, again, without spoiling anything yet, is to have something for the bad karmas, have something quite close to homemade rules also. Some, if I may say that.
Maybe also to share them. So the thing is that
also, yes.
So to customize and maybe to share. So yes, I mean the Christoph question as the reply is yes, it's feasible, and yes, we have it in our mind. But of course, anything that we add needs to be covered in terms of investment, and that's the reason why we will, let's say, share our ideas about a list of stretch goals that we want to achieve with the products during the campaign. Willing to keep this Ask Me Anything section, let's say quick, so half an hour. Just in the last minutes, what I would like to do is to reply to one of the questions that was funny to read, but pleasant to reply. It is, where will Teburu be in 3 years' time? So what do we see? What the community will look like? What do we think will be the growth in 3 years? So for sure, let's say the most thematic reply is that only Gil, the astrologist, could say, maybe reading the tarots. But for sure, also it is correct to share what's our vision. So our vision in reality is that in 3 years, the Teburu system is finally, let's say, quite mainstream. So spread around the world, thanks, of course, not only to this Kickstarter that is just the first step, but through the distribution of retail later on, through our partnerships that we are building, and through the next game campaigns that will give the opportunity not only to the gold founder and platinum founder to take more games at special condition, but also to newcomers to get both the system and the games. So let's say growing in terms of number of backers, number of users, number of Teburu install base that will allow to us to develop even more games, but not only, also to attract more and more the second parties and third parties, developers and publishers, that through the SDK will be able to develop their own games, to publish their own games for the Teburu community. And in the meanwhile, due to the news that we shared today, so that the SDK, for who of you is willing and skilled enough to do their own games, maybe having, let's say, an indie section of games, amatorial games that you can first of all try to develop and play with your friends, but maybe you want to share, maybe you want to put in the hands of the community. And our goal is to help this community to grow. Thanks to the community, as we did during the campaign, learn ourselves what you like most, what you need most, and then to support the community even in maybe going to see their game even published, maybe with some of the publishers that we know from us directly. So let's say what we see is a platform, a system that becomes more mainstream, and that will allow both new developers and publishers to take the opportunity to develop and sell this kind of enhanced board games, and also to you and to the people with the skills and will to do it, the opportunity to custom their own game, develop and custom their own games, and share their own ideas and games with the rest of the community. So that is for sure what we want to achieve. That needs probably a couple of years, or 2-3 years, as the question asked, but that's the goal. So if Riccardo, you have something to add, or okay, we have a last-minute question. Indeed, we are out of time, but yes, at least we reply to this.
Will you make a pledge level with all the heroes?
Okay, so we already replied to this. It's just we have the intention to do, let's say, a sort of gameplay all-in pledge, but it's something that we need to achieve, let's say, in terms of stretch goals. So the more you will be, the more the campaign will be successful, the more is this opportunity. We have it in mind, but we will see as soon as we are founded in the pipeline of the stretch goals. It's in our mind, let's say, our dream also. Because the more of you having the most of the heroes, the better it is for all of us, because you enjoy more. So thank you everybody for attending, to who is here, to who sent us the question up front, to who will look the section then later on YouTube maybe. And first of all, greetings also to our winner, so to Alessio, who we will contact in order to see whether he is really interested in getting the prototype and playing with us. Otherwise, Janice or Bradley will be the lucky ones that will be contacted as a backup. So thank you, everybody. and from Riccardo and myself. Thanks for attending, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.